6, turning our attention now to coronavirus, the impacts and the response as we wrap up the second week of the amended Safer at Home order, and we're seeing more and more businesses reopening. We want to check in with Limestone County now and how the Sheriff's Department out there is handling these, just the impacts these days.
Joining us right now live via Zoom, Stephen Young with the Limestone County Sheriff's Office. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Pat Marie. Thank you for having me.
You bet. We noticed that a lot of people are applying for pistol permits. We understand it's usually like 40, 150 we understand were applied for yesterday. It looks like that number of permits quadrupled. Any idea why that seems to be going up?
Yes, there's certainly an uptick within the last week or so in pistol permit applications, as you observed. It's on average maybe 4 times, but yeah, 30 to 40 is what we usually see. 100 to 150 is what we are seeing per day. And that's not terribly unusual in times of insecurity and, unrest. Maybe people are a little bit on edge. We've got a lot of things going on with, we're on 2 months into the coronavirus, maybe 3 months into the coronavirus thing. And everybody's been at home. Plus, we've got people coming in. We've got protesters. There's a whole lot of moving parts here. So it's not unprecedented that people would come in, at times of uncertainty and apply for a lot more pistol permit, concealed carry permits.
And Stephen, with that many being applied for, how is that process itself going? Smoothly, or are you having some issues, challenges?
It's going surprisingly smoothly. At this time, we're still able to maintain about the same wait time as we have before. I know others have not in some cases, but we are still doing our applications are only online. So even if they show up to the office, we may have a deputy come out and assist them if they're not comfortable online, and walk them through it. But they'll do it actually in the parking lot. And complete their application online, and the only thing that they need to come up to the office for at that point is to pick up the permit when it's ready.
All right, Stephen, you talked about protesters, and we're hearing about protests that are taking place across North Alabama. We know there was one in Athens over the weekend. Did you send any deputies to respond? Have you had any big issues in the county?
This past Sunday, we did have a protest in Athens. And, we, to my knowledge, did not send anybody, but, everything that I understand was that it was peaceful. People were there, they were talking, other people were there, they were listening. Messages were getting conveyed. And like I said, I wasn't there, but it seemed like it was, a pretty organized and pretty well executed protest.
What about reopening itself out there in Limestone County? We're seeing more people getting out and about, more businesses opening up out there, some health officials still concerned about social distancing and so on. What are you seeing out there, Stephen?
Well, we are seeing compliance. There are more cases. I mean, it's not that we've spiked or anything. It's just that there are cumulatively, we've gone through more time, so we have cumulatively more tests and more cases. But there is still a concern that, people, could revert, and having, seen we've gone through Memorial Day weekend. We didn't have a lot of instances there in terms of, major crowds or anything like that. There's some concern, in crowded areas, especially in buildings and large crowds that, there may be some kind of resurgence, but at this point, there's not really that much concern. I don't believe that they're going to overrun the hospitals, but we do hope that people will continue as they have been. I mean, this has been tough for a lot of people here in Limestone, just as everywhere else. Hopefully they don't. As we start to open up, that people continue to understand this is a gradual process. We can't do it all at once, or we're might end up back at square one.
All right, some good words right there. Yeah, absolutely makes a lot of sense there. We thank you so much for the update this morning. Stephen Young with the Limestone County Sheriff's Office. Thanks for being with us.
Yes, sir, Pat. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Stephen. It is 6:11 right now on your Thursday morning.